Hello students. Now I will discuss a poem named Gifts of Grace, honoring our vocation. The name of the poet is unknown. The poem Gifts of Grace, honoring our vocation is an anonymous poem that celebrates the dignity of labor, diversity of skill and the pride in daily work across Bharat or India. The poem frames everyday professions not as burdens but as meaningful gifts of grace. Which shapes individual identity and build the cultural fabric of the nation. The poem Gifts of Grace, honoring our vocation is written as a continuous free verse, streams of observations, but structurally it is broken down into 8 distinct part or stanza based on the specific professions and as it celebrates. Stanza 1 says, or it is an introduction to Bharat's vocations and craftspersons. Stanza 2, it says the artisans and musicians playing their instruments. Stanza 3, the carpenter working with precision. Stanza 4, the electricians handling cables. Stanza 5, the boatman sharing sea tails. Stanza 6, the shoemakers guaranteeing quality footwear. Stanza 7, the cooks, designers and the masons creating with rhythm. Stanza 8, and last stanza or last part, stanza 8, the conclusion connecting work to the individual identity. Because each and every profession creates an identity, establishes an identity. In this poem, the poet praises the various craftsmen persons of Bharat who creates various artifacts. Because each and every profession or each and every craftsmanship creates an art and which is praised throughout the ages. The weaver who use different colors and shades to create patterns. They use musical instruments and creates different emotions and dreams with their music. Such creations can be said displayed in the streets of Bharat. The poem acknowledges the work of carpenter, the electricians, the boatmen, the shoemakers, cooks, masons and many and all other professions, their work in their identity. Because earlier I have said that each and every profession gives a person its own identity. The poet praises the various workers like the carpenter, artisans, craftspersons, boatmen, electricians, shoemakers, cooks, masons and designers. All are praised in this poem. He says that the work is an identity of the worker and so they celebrate it. All the people of Bharat celebrate the workers because their work improves our life. Their works improves our society. Their works is the future of our society. The craftspersons use various colors and hues to weave pattern. The artisans or the musicians plays their instruments and evokes various emotions. Same as the carpenters, electricians and boatmen and all other professional persons. The poem, earlier I have said that poem had 8 parts or 8 stanzas. Now I will discuss the poem in Bengali. I hear Bharat celebrating the varied vocation. আমি শুনেছি ভারতে উদযাপিত হচ্ছে নানা রকমের পোশাকে আমি শুনেছি, নানা রকম পেশাকে আমি শুনেছি. Those of craftsperson, each one celebrating their crafts, woven their color and myriad hues. সেই সব কারিগরদের যাদের প্রত্যেকেরই উদযাপন করেছেন তাদের তারা উদযাপন করেছেন কোনগুলো? তাদের হস্তশিল্পকে, যা বোনা হয়েছে, নানান রং এবং অগণিত আভা এবং অনেক গল্প তৈরি হয়েছে প্রতিটা সৃষ্টির মধ্যে দিয়ে. দ্য আর্টিসানস উইথ লিউটস each hailing varied emotions and celebrating dreams echoing in the street. বিনাতে তান তোলা শিল্পীরা প্রত্যেকেই অভিবাদন জানাচ্ছে বিচিত্র সব আবেগ এবং উজ্জাপিত স্বপ্নকে, যা প্রতিধ্বনিত হচ্ছে রাস্তায় রাস্তায়। The carpenter celebrating, they create anything out of wood with mathematical precisions. কাঠমিস্ত্রিরা মেতে উঠেছে উদযাপনে, তারা গাণিতিক সূক্ষ্মতায় কাঠ দিয়ে তৈরি করে ফেলেন যে কোনো জিনিস। দ্য ইলেকট্রিশিয়ানস humming, they get ready for work, for their cables and wires to brighten our lives. ইলেকট্রিশিয়ানরা গান গুনগুন করছে, তারা গুনগুন করতে করতে কাজ করছে, তাদের কাজের জন্য প্রস্তুত হচ্ছেন। আমাদের জীবনকে আলোকিত করতে তারা তাদের কাজ এবং কেবল নিয়ে কাজ করছে। কেবল মানে তার, ইলেকট্রিকের তারের কথা বলা হয়েছে। দ্য বোটম্যান গ্যাদারিং দেয়ার নেটস ফ্রম দ্য শোর, selling and singing while at work, returning to tell the tales of the life of the sea. মাঝিরা বা নাবিকেরা তীর থেকে তুলে নিচ্ছেন তাদের জাল, নৌকা ভাসিয়ে কাজের মাঝে গান গেয়েছেন, আর সমুদ্রের জীবনের গল্প শোনাতে তারা ফিরে আসছেন। ফিরে এসে বাড়িতে প্রিয়জনকে তারা তাদের সামুদ্রিক জীবনের গল্পের কথা বলবে। The shoemakers affirming the quality of their work, for the feet that work, dance, run, jump and return home. মুচিরা জুতো বানায় নিশ্চিন্ত করছেন তাদের কাজের মাধ্যমে সেই সব পায়ের জন্য যেগুলো হাঁটে, হেঁটে বেড়ায়, নিচে বেড়ায়, দৌড়ায়, লাফায় এবং দিনের শেষে তারা বাড়ি ফিরে আসে। দ্য ডেলিশিয়াস সিঙ্গিং অফ দ্য কুক অর দ্য অফ রিদম অফ ডিজাইনার ম্যাসন, ইচ সেলিব্রেটিং হোয়াট বিলংস টু দেম অ্যান্ড টু নান এলস। রাঁধুনিরা সুস্বাদু খাবার, সুরের গান কিংবা ডিজাইনার বা রাজমিস্ত্রির ছন্দ প্রত্যেকেই উদযাপন করেছেন, যা শুধু তাদের নিজস্ব, অন্য কারো নয়। কারণ প্রত্যেকেই তাদের জীবিকাটাকে খুব সুন্দরভাবে উদযাপন করেন, তাদের জীবিকাটার সৌন্দর্য বৃদ্ধি করেন এবং তাদের জীবিকা দিয়ে অন্যকে উৎফুল্ল করে তোলে। দ্য ভয়েস অফ দ্য ভোকেশন ইজ দ্য ভয়েস অফ দ্যার আইডেন্টিটি। I hear Bharat celebrating their varied voice. I hear. তাদের পেশার কণ্ঠস্বর হলো তাদের আত্মপরিচয়। তাদের কণ্ঠস্বর হচ্ছে তাদের আত্মপরিচয়। আমি শুনেছি ভারত উদযাপন করছে সেই বিচিত্র সব স্বর, যা আমি শুনতে পাচ্ছি। এটা হচ্ছে কবিতার, আমরা যদি লাইন বাই লাইন মানে বলি। এবার কবিতার আরও অনেকগুলো দিক আছে। At first I will discuss the title. The title is perfectly justified because it captures the core spiritual and social message of the poem. The poem portrays professional skill not just as jobs but as a sacred talents gifted by higher power of nature. Each worker, whether a farmer, potter or mason, offers their labor as a graceful gift, gifts to sustain and beautify the human society. The word vocation implies a higher calling rather than a mere job done for money. By naming and celebrating diverse professions from cooking to seafaring, the poem actively honors and elevates everyday workers who are often overlooked or who are often unsung. The title sets a respectful tone, reminding readers that every honest occupation is a form of worship and identity. It highlights how individual gifts come together to build, feed and power the entire nation. The title means that every honest profession is a sacred thing, is divine talent that deserves deep respect and dignity. Grace refers to the blessings or favor from God or nature. The skill and talent we possess, like potter and other professionals, are treated as divine gifts, not just as mechanical actions to earn something. It also means that when workers use their skills to help others, they are offering a beautiful, graceful gift to the human society and the mankind. A vocation is different form of simple job or career. It means a higher calling or a life purpose that brings deep personal fulfillment. It not only satisfy the human individual but satisfy the society. Honoring means to praise and value. The title commands us to give equal respect to all workers, whether they work in their hand or in their mind or their hands, because every role is vital to the world. It is part and parcel of the world. When you put together, the phrase means that no work is small or low. It may be any profession, but they all are equally important, equally graceful, equally praiseful. Every profession is a proud expression of a person's identity and a necessary thread that holds the fabric of the society together. And if we go through the tone of the poem, we will find the tone of the poem is respectful, celebratory and inspiring. The poet views every profession with a high regards and holy respect. Work is treated as not just as a duty for money or a mechanical way of earning money, but a sacred calling or form of worship. Each and every work is nothing but a worship. The poem happily lists and praises different workers from potters to electricians. It highlights the unique beauty, the creativity, the craftsmanship and involved in a manual labor. All are manual labor, but all are very graceful, all are very helpful, all are part and parcel of human life. The tone remains completely equal, placing the cook, mason, boatman and all other professionals. It creates a warm sense of gratitude for how all workers contribute to the nation, to the society, to the mankind. Then the central theme of the poem is the dignity of labor, the sacred value of every profession. The poem strongly objects to the social hierarchy of the job. It shows that whether a person works with clay, with bricks, whites, wood or anything it may be, all are equally honorable, all are equally praiseworthy. A job is not just a way to earn money or a livelihood. Work is viewed as a vocation, a higher life purpose and a unique gift of talent through which an individual expresses their identity and creativity. The poem highlights that a society cannot function or progress without contribution of the diverse workers, drivers, craftsmen. The farmer, the mason, the electrician, the boatman all come together like a piece of puzzle to each and sustain the nation, the Bharat. It glorifies the patience, effort, imagination and the required in manual work, transforming daily task into form of beautiful art, a beautiful creation, a beautiful result. In the poem we find many literary devices like imagery. The poet uses the vivid words to create clear mental pictures of the workers in the action. The examples are deep furrow, shaping clay from the wheels of the skin, wires and cables. It helps the reader to visualize the hard work, skill, physical effort which are involved in each job. We also find alliteration, the repetition of consonants, sounds that beginning of the words close together gives a poem a musical rhythm. Deep dreams, pots and pans, walks with hires, it makes the poem catchy, smooth and easy to memorize. And we cannot ignore the use of metaphors. The poem treats regular job as something much higher and spiritual. The title itself uses a metaphor by calling everyday occupation skills gift of grace. It elevates ordinary manual labor into a sacred, noble, while with a special purpose. And there are many repetitions we find in the poem and also personifications. The poem describes non-human elements like clay, wood, waves, all if they respond directly to human touch. Example, wood being shaped with care and artisans weaving their dreams and emotions into fabric. It shows the deep emotion and the spiritual connection between the worker and their material. It is a very beautiful, skillful creation about the creators, about the artisans who creates to beautify our society, our nation and our mankind. Ultimately, the poem serves as a powerful reminder that true wealth of nation lies not in its riches, but in the dignified hands that builds, that feeds, and the power it every single day. It is also a harmonious coming together to this diverse gift of grace that turns the wheels of our nation and drives us towards a collective future. The poem leaves us with the profound lesson that our society is a beautiful mosaic where every unique vocation is an indispensable, indispensable tiles holding the entire picture together. By transforming daily course into sacred acts of devotion, the poem elegantly elevates the ordinary professions into an extraordinary callings of human grace. Moreover, the poet reminds us that every honest job is a form of worship, and every skilled worker carries a spark of divine creativity. Thus, the poem stands as a timeless anthem. It is a timeless anthem celebrating the pride, passion, and parity of all professions. So, honoring our vocation is not just about respecting a job, it is about celebrating the human identity itself. In conclusion, the text beautifully illustrates that no labor is small and every honest worker is a proud artist shaping the fabric of the society, enriching the fabric of the society and enriching the mankind, enriching each and every nation.